5 years ago, very few knew Nvidia's name. Today, its valuation exceeds that of entire countries, even those larger than Canada. It outstrips major oil companies, banks, and decades-old businesses that once ruled the planet. And now, Jensen Huang has made a statement that may change everything yet again. It's not just about faster computer chips anymore. The next revolution will be about factories that produce artificial intelligence. Imagine that. Our world relied on oil. Then came the internet age. But Nvidia sees a new era dawning, one driven by AI, where all companies must depend on Nvidia's network to survive. That's why investors keep their eyes and ears on every single thing Jensen Huang says. Because Nvidia leads and the tech industry follows. But that's not the most unbelievable part. Nvidia is no longer behaving like a company that manufactures computer chips. Instead, it is establishing itself as the backbone of a new economic order, powered by robots, intelligent agents, autonomous factories, and machines that can think faster than humans. The question we no longer ask ourselves is artificial intelligence coming? There is a reason why Nvidia is at the forefront of the AI industry. The company wasn't born in it. Over decades, it prepared itself for a shift in the market that few predicted. In the early 2000s, Nvidia primarily dealt with gaming graphics cards. These products were sought after due to their impressive capabilities of creating realistic visual images. Then, however, Jensen Huang understood what nobody else did. These chips performed exceptionally well at doing huge amounts of calculations simultaneously. And that was what AI training is all about. Trillions of operations need to be done at once to make an algorithm learn efficiently. This was an area where CPUs struggled greatly. GPUs by Nvidia, on the other hand, were made for such tasks. And then came the pivotal moment in AI history. Experts discovered that Nvidia chips were great at training deep learning models. Consequently, Nvidia hardware began being in high demand by universities, startups, and even tech giants. But that wasn't everything. Apart from its hardware, Nvidia developed an entire software ecosystem called CUDA. This became a moat for Nvidia's business. Competitors would have a difficult time replicating it. Today, firms developing AI spend billions of dollars on Nvidia's infrastructure and build data centers revolving around the company's solutions. It's not just another piece of news for Nvidia investors this time. Jensen Huang's newest statement warns about the impending shift that may occur globally soon enough. As he puts it, future manufacturing will produce not just goods, but also intelligence. The speaker envisioned the factories powered by robots controlled by AI that would optimize the process through its own intelligence. This means that intelligence has become an industrial product. As can be easily understood, this may transform any sector of the economy, from manufacturing and transportation to education and healthcare. Every company is going to need AI infrastructure for efficient work, and Nvidia aims at providing the engine for all of this. However, there is one important note that mustn't be overlooked. Namely, AI itself is becoming a type of infrastructure, comparable to energy and internet services. Countries strive to create their own sovereign AI infrastructure out of fears to lag behind both economically and technologically. This has led to governments investing enormous sums in the creation of AI computing infrastructure. From the viewpoint of Nvidia investors, this is crucial news. The company is aiming far ahead and isn't trying to achieve its goals for the next fiscal quarter anymore. If Huang's predictions come true, we are still witnessing just the beginning of an AI boom. That said, it is not only the appeal of AI that attracts investors to Nvidia stock. In reality, investors assume that Nvidia can become one of the biggest infrastructure firms of the era. Consider how the companies dominating previous revolutions emerged. Oil companies dominated the Industrial Revolution. Internet companies dominated the digital revolution. Now Nvidia strives to dominate the AI revolution. Moreover, the figures are mind-blowing. The major tech giants such as Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Google spend billions on the development of AI data centers, where Nvidia processors are used. Thus, the more AI development goes, the more resources are needed for it, the more money Nvidia can make out of it. Apart from that, Nvidia is attractive to investors due to its margins. AI chips developed by Nvidia are so useful for businesses that the latter are ready to pay enormous amounts of money for them. Hence, Nvidia manages to earn profits at an extremely rapid pace. According to some experts, soon the spending on AI infrastructure may exceed spending on the cloud by the end of the decade. If this scenario becomes real, Nvidia will grow much bigger than it has ever been before. On the other hand, Nvidia faces certain dangers. At this price, everyone expects nothing but perfect results, and any decline in AI's growth rate can affect investors' behavior dramatically. Thus, Nvidia plays a key role in the modern world. Artificial intelligence is seen as the key driver of economic, military, and technological dominance on Earth for decades to come by almost all countries of the world. And that's precisely why nations are in a hurry to develop sovereign AI infrastructure. While the US tries to remain ahead of China, the latter invests heavily into its own domestic production of AI chips. Meanwhile, the Middle East states spend billions on development of AI computing centers. Europe is doing its best to ensure that it doesn't lose to everyone else. In this struggle, one name stands out. Nvidia's chips are now recognized as crucial technology, and thus are subject to export restrictions and national security policies. Isn't it just amazing? This firm, which used to produce nothing more but gaming graphics cards, became one of the world's most strategically significant players, and Jensen Huang knows that very well. Thus, Nvidia is growing internationally, working hand-in-hand with governments, cloud providers, telecom operators, and national AI projects. For maybe the next superpower won't be a nation with the strongest military, but the country with the most powerful AI infrastructure. And that is something Nvidia wants to supply them all with. With Nvidia's growing power, one uncomfortable question starts creeping into people's minds. What will happen if one company becomes too crucial for the worldwide AI industry? The simple answer is that currently, almost all of the AI infrastructure used by businesses across the planet relies on Nvidia's technology, from AI-based chatbots like ChatGPT to autonomous robots. Nvidia became too essential for businesses' operations, which raises fears among both competitors and government authorities and some investors. After all, experience tells us that if one company controls crucial aspects of infrastructure development, sooner or later, issues start surfacing. Higher prices, less competition, stifling innovation, and leaving industries open to significant risks when anything goes wrong are only a few such issues. Some people have compared Nvidia's situation to Standard Oil during the industrialization era or Microsoft back in the early days of the internet. Jensen Huang claims that Nvidia deserved its place because it has been innovating consistently for years now. For now, the markets seem to agree. However, if true, there are vast implications behind Nvidia's domination. If AI will serve as the basis of future economies, the companies responsible for maintaining AI infrastructure would hold immense power over everyone else. And Nvidia may well become one of these companies.